$179 million. That's what Beyoncé earned in a single month during her Renaissance tour. Not for the whole tour, in 1 month. The highest grossing tour ever by a female artist. Numbers that break your brain. Numbers that shouldn't be possible. But here's what stopped me cold. The same week those numbers were announced, a court document surfaced from 2018. Beyoncé's own drummer, someone who'd worked with her for 7 years, had filed for a restraining order. Not for harassment, not for unpaid wages, for witchcraft. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Chronicles. I'm Percival Blackwood. At first I laughed. Kimberly Thompson, the drummer, claimed Beyoncé had been practicing extreme witchcraft against her. Magic spells to tap her phones, enchantments that murdered her kitten, supernatural sexual harassment. The judge denied the restraining order, case dismissed. Everyone moved on. But something nagged at me. Thompson was a professional musician at the peak of the industry. She'd toured the world with Beyoncé. She knew filing this lawsuit would destroy her career. Yet she stood before a judge and swore under oath that magic was being used against her. Then I started looking at the patterns. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. 2013 Super Bowl. Beyoncé performs. She throws up Jay-Z's diamond hand sign, identical to the Illuminati's all-seeing eye. Immediately after her set, the stadium loses power for 34 minutes. The NFL blamed an electrical relay, but I talked to an electrician who worked that venue. Triple redundancy on all systems. For everything to fail, at once requires either astronomical bad luck or intervention. Go back further. 2001. Aaliyah dies in a plane crash at age 22. Within a year, Beyoncé leaves Destiny's Child and becomes a solo superstar. The conspiracy theorists have always said Aaliyah was a sacrifice. Blood magic. The younger and more talented the offering, the greater the power received. I used to think that was insane, until I learned about the bees. Beyoncé calls her fans the BeyHive. Cute, right? But in occult traditions, bees are psychopomps, creatures that travel between worlds. A hive is a collective consciousness directed by a queen. When the BeyHive attacks someone online, it happens within minutes. Coordinated, devastating. Careers have ended. People have vanished from public life. That coordination isn't natural. It's what occultists call a cone of power, collective energy raised and directed toward a single purpose. Watch her concerts with this in mind. The choreography creates sacred geometry. The staging forms specific symbols. 50,000 people moving in perfect synchronization, chanting in unison, raising their hands at the exact same moment. In witchcraft, that's called a working, a spell cast by thousands, but nothing prepared me for Renaissance. Beyoncé releases an album cover showing her naked on a silver horse. By itself, artistic. But then I found the other photos, a red horse for British Vogue, a white horse in Black is King, a black horse for Harper's Bazaar, 4 horses, 4 specific colours, white, red, black, pale, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, in the exact order they appear in Revelation. She released these images as the world was experiencing pandemic, pestilence white, war, red, economic collapse, famine, black, and excess deaths, death, pale. She didn't predict these events, she marked them, claimed them. In magic, that's called correspondence, aligning your working with larger forces to amplify power. Beyoncé releases Formation. The opening line. You'll hate us corny with that Illuminati mess. Everyone focused on her denying the Illuminati. Nobody noticed what she didn't deny. Not one word about the witchcraft allegations. Not one. Because denial would break the spell. An acknowledgement would confirm what her enemies suspect. Let me tell you what I think is really happening. Beyoncé isn't just successful. She's discovered something. Call it magic, call it hidden knowledge, call it tapping into forces most of us don't understand. But she's using it. Every album timed to astrological significance. Every symbol deliberately chosen. Every performance a ritual hiding as entertainment. The Renaissance tour wasn't just a concert series, it was a 56-date magical working. Each show raising energy, directing intention, building towards something. 579 million wasn't the goal. It was the offering, the tithe, payment for services rendered or power received. Thompson, the drummer who filed that restraining order. She said Beyoncé murdered her kitten with dark magic. In witchcraft, that's called killing a familiar, severing someone's magical protection. The phone tapping through spells, remote viewing, the financial control, binding magic. These aren't fantasies, they're documented practices in every grimoire ever written. Thompson knew because she'd spent 7 years inside the circle, close enough to see the real work being done. And when she tried to leave, when she tried to break free, she felt the full force of what Beyoncé had become. Since October 2023, when the Renaissance tour ended, Beyoncé has gone completely silent. No posts, no appearances, nothing. In magical traditions, this is called the silence before the working, a gathering of power before something major. The last time she went this quiet was 2013, right before she revolutionized the music industry by dropping an album with no warning. That wasn't just marketing. It was a demonstration of power, showing the world she could break every rule and still dominate. Here's what convinced me the magic is real. Beyoncé has never lost, never truly failed. Every rival who's challenged her has fallen. Every scandal slides off her. Every attack makes her stronger. That's not talent. That's not luck. That's protection. The kind you buy with blood and souls, or earn through perfect execution of the old ways. The Illuminati may run the banking system and governments, but Beyoncé, she's doing something different. She's bringing magic back into the mainstream, making it aspirational, teaching millions to participate in rituals without knowing their rituals. Every person doing the single ladies dance is performing a binding ritual. The hand movements create specific sigils. Every stream of her music feeds the spell. Every ticket bought, every piece of merchandise, every social media post with the bee emoji. It's all part of the working. When she sings "Who Run the World?" Girls. She's not making a statement. She's speaking something into existence. When she names an album Renaissance, she's not being poetic. She's declaring the return of something ancient. Either Beyoncé has rediscovered real magic and is using it to reshape reality, or she's leaning into these forces so completely that she's achieving the same results. At that level of practice, there's no difference. Performing magic perfectly is magic. The celebrities taking notes, the young artists studying her methods. They're not learning entertainment, they're learning witchcraft, and they're getting very, very good at it. We're not heading towards some hidden apocalypse. We're in it. The Renaissance isn't coming. It's here. The age of reason is ending. The age of magic is returning. And we're funding it, celebrating it, streaming it on repeat. Kimberly Thompson tried to warn us. She didn't ask for money or revenge. She asked for protection from magic. Because once you've felt real power directed at you, once you've seen what it can do, nothing else matters except getting out of its path. But here's the thing. We can't get out of its path because we're part of the spell. Every one of us who's ever sung along to Crazy in Love, who's ever done the single ladies dance, who's ever felt that electric connection at a concert, we've contributed to the working. The witch isn't hiding in the shadows. She's on stage, bathed in light, showing us exactly what she's doing. And we're applauding. We're paying her to do it. We're begging for more. That's the brilliance of it. The spell works because we consent. We participate. We believe. And belief, as any witch will tell you, is the most powerful magic there is. I'm Percival Blackwood, and this has been the Rabbit Hole Chronicles. Next time you find yourself at a concert, moving in perfect sync with thousands of others, feeling that surge of collective energy directed toward the figure on stage, remember what you're really part of. Remember what you're helping to manifest. Because in the old days, they had a word for gatherings like that. They called them Sabbaths. And the one leading them, they called her a witch.